Imagine checking a stock market ticker. But, instead of tracking tech companies or index funds, you're tracking the cosmic value of gold for a single precise day in the future.
Right.
January 16, 2027, to be exact. Welcome to a custom deep dive just for you. Today, we're opening up a text called Calculating the Leo Influence, specifically zeroing in on Lesson 6, which is Leo as the symbol of gold.
Yeah, this is a really fascinating section of the source material.
It is. Okay, let's unpack this. We're essentially looking at a cosmic financial balance sheet, right? Tallying up celestial assets and liabilities to find the final Leo coefficient.
That is literally the perfect way to frame it. I mean, we aren't dealing with vague, sweeping horoscopes here.
No, not at all.
This is rigid accounting. And to understand how this letter works for January 16, 2027, we have to start with the foundational rule the source lays out. Because the sun is the absolute ruler of Leo, our mandate is to mathematically analyze every planetary influence affecting it.
Just to determine its overall strength on that specific day.
Exactly.
Okay, so to balance our cosmic ledger, we first have to calculate the positive influences, right? Like the assets adding value to Leo's portfolio.
Yeah, we start with the steady earners. The text assigns standard positive values for this date. So Mercury contributes a +5, Venus adds a +3,
Right.
Saturn brings in a +2, and Neptune provides another +5. So these are just straightforward deposits into the account.
Right. But then we hit the moon, and the math completely shifts. Because, the text lists the moon's base coefficient as a +4, but it doesn't just sit there as a static asset.
No, it doesn't.
The source flags its influence as double directional. So instead of just adding 4, it actually multiplies.
Yep.
Like 2 times 4.
Yep. Making the moon's actual contribution a massive +8.
Which is huge compared to the other.
It's massive. And that multiplier is crucial here. Conceptually, double directional refers to the moon's natural push and pull dynamic. Think of it like compound interest in our ledger.
Oh, I like that. So it's not just depositing static value.
Yeah, right. Its gravitational momentum actively amplifies the energy already present. When we take that amplified +8 from the moon and add it to our other planets, Leo's total positive influence sits at a very strong +23.
Wow, okay. So Leo's stock is soaring. But, a ledger isn't complete without its debits.
Unfortunately not.
We have to look at the liabilities. And this is where the logic seems to completely break
But
down.
it really does throw people off.
Here's where it gets really interesting for you listening. If the sun is the ruler of Leo, essentially the CEO of this entire cosmic company, why is the sun's influence for this specific date sitting in the negative column?
With a score of -4.
Right. Wait, if the sun rules Leo, shouldn't it be its biggest asset? How can a ruler be a liability in its own domain?
It's a brilliant question, and it's the core tension of this entire calculation. How does the CEO tank their own stock, right? In this system, rulership doesn't guarantee permanent strength. On January 16th, 2027, the sun is positioned in a way that drains Leo's resources rather than feeding them. It's temporarily over-leveraged.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so the text shows the sun pulling a -4, acting as a direct tax on the symbol of gold.
So it's like a company taking on sudden debt to restructure. The ruling planet is actively dragging down the score. And it's not acting alone, is it?
No, it isn't. We also have Jupiter bringing a -1 and Pluto pulling a really heavy -5.
Ouch.
Yeah, when you combine the sun's over-leveraged -4 with Jupiter and Pluto's debits, you get a total negative influence of -10.
Okay, let's synthesize this. We take our soaring +23 in assets, subtract the -10 in liabilities caused largely by our own rogue CEO, and where does that leave our bottom line?
We arrive at a final Leo coefficient of +13 for January 16th, 2027.
Okay, so still well in the green.
Very much so. And this brings us back to Lesson 6, Leo as the symbol of gold. A +13 means that despite the internal drain from the sun, the surrounding cosmic portfolio is robust enough to keep the symbol of gold in a remarkably strong net positive position for that day.
Especially because of that double directional moon doing the heavy lifting.
Exactly.
For you listening, this really changes how you view these celestial bodies. You now have a strict step-by-step breakdown of how these specific planetary values interact to mathematically define Leo, the symbol of gold.
Yeah, it strips away the mystery. It replaces it with quantifiable mechanics, proving that behind the symbolism, there is a strict architecture dictating the outcome.
Which leaves me with one massive question for you to ponder. If the celestial math for the symbol of gold is this rigidly calculated to a plus 13 on January 16th, 2027, how wildly does that coefficient fluctuate the day before or the day after? Does this cosmic value shift daily like a stock market ticker?